center. Okay, or whatever the processing you are doing, whatever the data you are processing, all those processing takes place in the data center. And your local machine, whatever the local machine you are using, that is just you are using that machine only to access that data center. Okay, so maybe you feel like you are processing in your machine, local machine, but actually what is happening that all the execution takes place in the data centers. Okay, so we guys are using Amazon Web Services. Okay, so if you want to register with Amazon Web Services, what you can do is uh, you can type Amazon Web Services, AWS. Already we have registered with. I'll just show you how to register that with Amazon Web Services. You can hit on this link, aws.amazon.com. Okay, so click on this link. Click on this link and choose this option. Okay, since I am the root user here, so I can use this one. But before that one, if you want to create a new account, okay, you can click over here. Okay, click here. Okay, so click here. See, they have mentioned here AWS account includes 12 months of free of tier access. Okay, so fill this form. I don't want to demonstrate this how to fill this. Email address, password, confirm password, account name. You give account name here also. In the moment when you click on continue, okay, so it will take you to the next. Uh, it will take you to the next form. Let me at the rate gmail.com. Let us have some dummy numbers here. Okay. Same way. Um, don't spam me. Okay, so next continue. If continue here, okay. Generally, what happens once again? Account does already exist. Let me try with info spot.info iterate for digital.in. Okay, I'll keep the same thing. Infosys. Infosys space. Continue it. Okay, account already exists. The moment when you click on this, okay, here most important thing is you will be taken to the next the form. In next form, they'll ask you to share your credit card details. Okay, so credit card details. So there will be 16 digits, I guess. 16-digit credit card details will be there. So you have to share that one. Don't worry about that. They will deduct only ₹1 from your account. Okay, that is for the verification purpose. So after detecting ₹1, after verification, within 24 hours, okay, your account will get activated. Okay, after activation, after 2 days, whatever they have detected from your account, that is ₹1 again, they will give back. Okay, that will be returned to your the account. But one more thing, most important, after having account, okay, some tools, okay, some services are with the free of cost. You can use it. Some services, okay, that every hour they charge, and it is going to be the nominal one, maybe 0.010 cents per hour, okay, or maybe lesser than that. So you need to take care of that one, okay, when you are using the paid services of the Amazon Web Services. Nothing to worry. Okay, in my sessions, I'll teach you how to use Amazon Web Services with free of cost. Okay, so you can use Amazon Web Services with the free of a cost. One more thing, uh, disadvantage of Amazon, I would not say disadvantage. It is going to charge for hourly wise. Okay, 1 hour. Suppose let us say you have used the machine for 5 minutes, they are going to charge for 1 hour. Understood? So if you are using for 1 hour, it is going to charge for complete 1 hour. Okay, that is there. But if you take GCP, cloud-based system, okay, they are going to charge on the basis of second wise. If you are using 5 seconds, they are going to charge only for 5 seconds, not for the complete 1 hour. Don't hesitate. Don't worry about that one regarding about the amount. Understood? Uh, they are, even if you use a high end the machines, we are going to get very nominal prices. Sorry, the fees maybe what I have experienced last time. My amount was around 75 rupees, not more than that. Okay, so but I'll teach you the how to use that one with the free of cost also. Okay, so that is a different cup of the coffee. Let's try to, the moment when you are activated with Amazon Web Services. Okay, you will get the root user and account number. Okay, just try to give the your email address. Next, hit on next. Click on next. Next password. Give the password also. Give the password. Once again. Give the password. Can you see the screen, participants? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you, okay. You hope you all of you can see my screen. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so as
Yes,
far
sir.
as this is the main,
Yes, sir.
this is a main dashboard of Amazon Web Services. Okay, and this entire system is there now. They have divided the entire system in different data centers. They have around 16 data centers, I guess. You can see here all the data centers. So these are the data centers of Amazon Web Services. Okay, so here you take Virginia, they have, okay, in East OU, you have California, Oregon. Okay, in Africa, they have Cape Town, Hong Kong. Okay, in Mumbai, they have data center. And this data center, all the data related to AWS of India, it's stored in the Mumbai data center. Next in specific soil, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo. Okay, so these are some of the data centers they are using. In Bahrain, they have, okay, these are there. They are expanding that one. But there are 16 data centers are there, and all the data is stored in those data centers. Okay, if I'm doing something, all that will be stored in my Mumbai data center. And remember, since I'm using this system, okay, whatever the instructions I'm performing here, all those instruction is executing on my Mumbai data center. Understood? So I have selected here the Mumbai center, data center. You need to take utmost care here. Okay, in the beginning, when you are working with Amazon Web Services, okay, so what I have experienced from my previous intern batches, okay, they used to perform, they used to execute the data. Understood? But sometimes what they used to do, they used to change the data center while, okay, so before performing any kind of a task, make sure that your data center should be, okay, you have checked the data centers. Suppose let us say you have created one machine in Mumbai region, and you have created one more the machine in the Virginia region. So we cannot share the data, the machine which is in the Virginia region and the machine which is in the Mumbai region. So everything should be in the same data center. Okay, so some certain those kind of limitations are there. Okay, and that is to maintain the standard or the security purpose. They have done that. Understood. There are certain services that you can exchange with the different data centers also. Let us try to have a look on the different services. Okay, see, these are some of the I can say these are some of the services which are offered by Amazon Web Services. These are the machines, different types of machines we can configure using compute. They started the services from S3. Okay, S3 is nothing but a simple storage services from Amazon hard disk. Okay, you take your computer hard disk, 1 terabyte of data means you can store only to 1 terabyte of data, not more than that. Suppose let us say you have only 80 GB of data. In that case, you are using 1 terabyte of data. So that means there is a waste of around 920 bytes, okay, GB of a data space over there. But in the case of Amazon, what happened? Suppose if you have 80 GB of data, so it will allocate you only 80 GB of the space, okay, to store that data. There is no wastage of the space also here. Okay, so when it comes to backup, this is related to storage. One by one, I'm going to teach all these things in coming sessions. Okay, so how to configure this, how to use this things, etc. Regarding about the databases, have a look on this. There are plenty of databases here. Okay, this is RDS relational database, which comes with a 5-6 packages. Oracle, MySQL, Dynamo. Okay, so other options are also is there here in this. Now, if you take Oracle, Oracle, if you want to purchase Oracle software for database system, you need to pay a huge amount. But official software itself is available in RDS. Okay, so you can use it, and they are going to charge based upon the amount of space what you have used in the company. Understood? So they are not going to charge more than that. Maybe every hour they are going to charge in terms of cents, 0.010 cents, like that they are charged. Okay, this is for structured format, this is for unstructured format of database system. There are many more options here as far as database is concerned. Migration and transfer. Okay, suppose if you want to migrate, okay, and want to transfer the complete database, okay, the complete data set from one region to another region, or you want to perform some any other task. So migration transfer options are also available. Security, cyber security, just now I said, we have VPC, CloudFront, Route 53, okay. So you can launch your own websites here with free of cost. API, even you can give that domain service, okay. So using this networking and content delivery system. If you take most of the companies, now whatever the new companies are coming up for domain services and domain spaces, some, okay, so most of the companies are uses this Amazon Web Services. Okay, so next is we have developer tools. Okay, so these are some of the developer tools here, but I'm more concerned about this one. Okay, since I'm into AI and data science, so I'll discuss more on this. Okay, so these are my tools. Machine learning, Amazon SageMaker I'm going to use, okay, to design machine learning products. Augmented AI for AI VR system. Kendra is there, Lex is there. Okay, so nowadays most of the BPU and KPU have migrated towards WhatsApp. Okay, through WhatsApp they started providing the services. Lex is one of the best platform to design such type of products. Recognition systems, image recognitions, etc. We can perform here. Okay, fraud detection systems we can design here. Deep Composer for deep learning systems. Okay, Deep Composer, Deep Lens, and Deep Razor. For deep learning system, we generally use this one. As far as analytics is concerned, okay, so these are some of the tools like Athena we have, Redshift we have, EMR we have. So I'm using this one, Athena, Redshift, and EMR. I haven't used these tools, but I'll try to cover this three, okay, in the upcoming sessions. Next, there are many more here. Okay, for game lovers, we have Amazon Game Lift Techniques, IoT, we have Internet of Things. These are the devices are available. Okay, services are offered by the Amazon Web Services. Next is satellite. Okay, satellite communication. Where is satellite communication? Even I have for EC students, EC and electronic. There is one other option called satellite communication system. Have a look on this. Ground station. We can design the complete ground station using this service called satellite system. Blockchain. Okay, so blockchain offer this, even they offer for blockchain services. Okay, AR VR system, Sumerian technology, augmented reality technology. Okay, so you can use Sumerian technology here. Okay, so these are few I think some of the services which are provided. I think for the software engineers or the technology lovers, I think these services are more than sufficient. Using these services, we can design any type of the current uh, the softwares, the demand, the software which are in demand in the market, we can design using this one. RoboMaker also available. Okay, so if you want to have that robotic systems, we can use this technology. Okay, hope you are clear with this. Let's try to deploy one machine now, simple machine. Shall I continue, participants? Hello, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, yeah, I'll try to deploy one machine now. Okay. You can compare that machine with your local machine. So the major difference between this machine, just now what I'm going to deploy is your local machine is, this machine is dynamic in nature. So you can increase or decrease the RAM or the space, okay, in this machine. But if you compare that with your local machines, okay, is it not possible to, okay, increase or decrease the space or the RAM of your machine here. So this is called EC2 system. EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Computing System. Okay, click on this. Click on this. Hold on. This takes time, huh? This takes time because you feel like I'm doing in my local machine, but all the execution is taking place in the data center, which is in Mumbai. Okay. Next is, this is the dashboard. So as far as my dashboard is concerned, have a look on this. My data center is Mumbai now. I have 3 instances here. Already 3 machines are working in my system. Okay, it's up and running now. Okay, and it comes to EC2. Okay, you can use EC2 machines for 720 hours. 720 hours per month. 720 hours per month is free. Understood? Even if you run the machine for 24 hours per day, okay, so it is going to have around 720 hours. Okay, so again 40 hours will be remaining. If it is exceeding 760 hours, so they are going to charge for that. So make a machines, make sure that, okay, so whatever utilization is there, it should be within 760 hours. Okay, so next is, if you want to launch an instance or machines you take, I will not say machine nowadays. Now I will say instances. Okay, so if you want to launch an instance, hit on launch instance. Okay, hit on launch instance. Okay, click on launch instance. You see this? See, as far as these instances machines are concerned, these are the operating systems. Okay, what you can choose from this. And remember, these are not pirated one, all are official professional operating systems. Okay, so you are not going to use any pirated systems here. Okay, so Amazon Lex EMI, this is designed by Amazon itself. You can use this. Red Hat is there, Linux, you can use Red Hat Linux. SUSE Linux, you have Ubuntu server. Okay, 20.04 latest version of machine is available in Ubuntu. I'm a big fan of Ubuntu. I usually use Ubuntu. Okay, so next is, I have Microsoft Server, Windows Server. Those who want to use Windows, they can use Windows also. But I recommend not to use Windows because it's going to consume around 30 GB of, it requires 30 GB of the space. Okay, in 30 GB of space, we can have around 4 instances from Ubuntu. Ubuntu takes only 8 GB. And here, most important while selecting, what you have to remember is, see, free tier eligibility. Okay, so check on this. This is free of cost. Okay, if this is not available, free tier eligibility, better you don't choose that one because they are going to charge, okay, some hefty amount for you. Okay, so this is also free tier. This is not a free tier. Understood? So you need to take care of that one. Okay, but when you are working in companies, there is no restriction. Okay, so you can use free tier or professional one, but company is going to pay for that. Okay, but you need to take care of that one. Understood? So next is, okay, these are some of the operating system, okay, which is offered by Amazon Web Services. Deep learning for machine learning. With the configuration, the machine will come. Okay, with the TensorFlow and Keras. Okay, so next is what I will do. Usually what I do, either I'll choose this. Okay, I usually choose this one, 18.04, but this is not a free tier. Okay, let me check for the free tier. Okay, 16.04. Okay, 4 is there. So I can choose either this or I can go for yeah, this one. I'll use this one. SSD volume type. I'll choose this one. Select this. If you want, you can choose latest version also, or you can take any other operating system. Let's say SUSE Linux, etc. In next session, I'll try to demonstrate how to install our Windows also. Okay, so today I'll have this. Select. Hold on. Can you see this, participants? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, have a look here. So these are the configurations. Okay, vCPU, virtual CPU memory. Okay, so RAM, CPU, see one vCPU memory is 0.5. RAM 1 GB, 1 GB. Okay, so if this is mentioned free tier, this is free tier. Okay, if you are using with free of cost. So we have other also high-end configurations. Right now in practical section, sorry, in a training session, better use 1 GB RAM, 1 GB VPC. Okay, vCPU, and these are some of the highly configured machines. Okay, which comes with us. Have a look on this. 36 GB RAM it's offering. 72 GB RAM it is offering. Okay, 144 vCPU is offering. So they are going to charge for this. Okay, gigabyte, GB, 20 Gbps, all those they have configured here. Extra okay, you can see here C5. Okay, metal large, extra large. Okay, 24 extra large. Okay, so 18 large. These are the names of or types of the instances. Okay, so now free tier eligibility, I'll use this one. Next, configure an instance. Hit on configure an instance. Make sure that during training purpose, during training time, you use this. Okay, configure instance details. Configure instance. It will take you to the next the board. Okay, dashboard. Here you can choose any number of machines. Let's say you want to have 20 machines. You can choose 20 machines. That means within a fraction of second, I can install 20 machines at a time. Understood? So right now I want only one machine here. VPC, virtual private network. By default, I'll use virtual private network here. This is the default one. And make sure that while using Amazon Web Services, okay, don't do any configuration in virtual private network. Okay, VPC. Not to you. Okay, do modification in this VPC system. Okay, you can. I will demonstrate how to have our own VPC system in coming sessions. Next is rest of the thing you keep as it is right now. Okay, don't much focus on this. Rest of the things I'll keep same thing, but later on I'm going to modify all these things. Okay, as the requirements of my projects changes. Next is hit on add storage. Hit on add storage. So by default, have a look on this. By default, the size of my machine is how much? Participants, hello, hello. What is the size of my machine? Can you see this one? What is the size of the machine? Hello, hello. What is the size of the machine here? How much GB by default I'm using? 8 GB. Yeah.
8 GB, sir.
Speak. Don't hesitate. 8 GB. By default, it takes 8 GB. Okay. So you can increase this 8 GB to 20 GB, 100 GB, 1 terabyte, whatever you want, you take it. But by default, it is 8 GB. If you are giving lesser than 8 GB, okay, machine is not going to configure. Minimum by default, it is 8 GB. If you want, you can add more SSD also here. Okay, so rest of the thing keep as it is here. The snapshots, I'll talk about snapshot. We can have the mirror copy of the same machine. Understood? Load balancing, there is a system called load balancing. When the number of visitors are increasing, understood? So the load for the software also increase. We can balance that load. Understood? So you have a look on that Netflix. Okay, so how much you use Netflix? Okay, the performance remains same there. What is the reason? Load balancing. I don't know how many people are browsing Netflix. Understood? Nearly per second, around thousands, lakhs together users are using Netflix, but performance remains same because of the load balancing. Okay, we are going to have snapshots, mirror copy of the machine. It is possible. Okay, so this is the root directory, and this root directory is nothing but this is the location of my machine, okay, where in my data center called Mumbai. Okay, so SSD I'm using. Okay, so rest of the thing you keep as it is. Next, tags. Tags is nothing but the names here. Okay, you can give the name for your machine. Let's say I want to give the name. Key is nothing but name here. Names, key, tags are used in project. Let's say you have one simple machine. You want to connect that machine with the other machine. So we make use of the tags here. Okay, so or else you take, you want to connect this machine with other services. So we make use of the tags here. So let's say the tag be technical training. Okay, configure security settings. Launch configure. This is very important. See, as far as configuration settings is concerned, for this one, Ubuntu Linux you take. So we will be using SSH. Okay, so SSH to connect with the machine. Okay, so it is, this machine is also possible to access through browsers. So if you want to access through browser, again I have to add one more rule here. Okay, HTTP. You can use HTTP here. All traffic also you can use. The moment when you use all traffic, so from anywhere you'll be able to access this one. But I recommend not to use all traffic, because anyone can access your computer. Okay, the virtual computer that is there. This is TCP 22 port I'm using here. Custom, when you have custom, okay, custom IP you have to use. Okay, so right now I'll use anywhere. If you have your own, if you want to give your own IP address, you can give it is here. But for the instance of time, let me close this. I don't want to demonstrate that one right now. Okay, SSH. Next we have review and launch. Review and launch. Next, launch the instance. The moment when you launch, I think you might have seen, you will be having the password in your computer, right? Hello. Hello, participants. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Usually we will be having the, what I can say, the password for our computer. But in the case of virtual machines, okay, so we will be using PPK file. Okay, so privacy control a file. I'll teach you how to do that one. So here already I have one PPK file here. Okay, so first what you need to do is, okay, create a new key pair. New key pair, okay, PPK file you try to create it, understood. But the moment when you are creating, it will be, you can download that file in the form of PEM file. Okay, so I'll explain that one. Okay, what is the PEM, PPK, etc. Let me demonstrate this, how to configure this first. Have a name for this one, technical. So I'll have the name for that one, a file be technical. It's downloading now, hold on. Can you see this? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I have, now I have downloaded my technical PEM file. Okay. So it will be in the form of PEM. So let me launch this because this takes time. Launch instance. Okay. So till then, what I will do, I'll go to this location. Okay. Launch view instance. View instance. Okay. So let me minimize this. I'll go to my PEM file now. Hold on. Okay, this is my PEM file. Let me cut and paste somewhere. Okay, let me cut. Let me put this one in somewhere in my desktop. I'll have one folder called technical. I'll paste here. So right now my PEM file is here. Okay, it's kind of a security system which is provided by the Amazon Web Services. Now I cannot access this PEM file. First, if I want to access this key, so I have to convert this one into PPK file. Okay, so to convert this one into PPK file, so you need to install one software. Okay, so if you are using Windows, you need a software called Putty. Sorry, Putty Gen. Okay, I'll give the link in the descriptions, or else you can refer my YouTube channel. There completely I have explained. Okay, how to download the Putty Gen as well as Putty software. I'll give the link of my YouTube. You can subscribe and you can start your projects. Okay, so you can refer and you can execute some of the projects, real-time projects, what I have demonstrated in my internship session. Here, what you can do is, okay, so just write Puttigen. Okay, so hit on Puttigen. Puttigen here, you will get this dashboard. Can you see this participants? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yep.
Okay, I'll try to wind up as early as possible. Don't worry. Now next is load. Click on load. Here, go to desktop where your PEM file is located. I think this one. Here, you will not be able to see that PEM file. So what you have to do is, or click on all files. Okay, so technical file. Click on technical file. Open it. So you can see the key here. Can you see the key? Hello. Can you see the key? Sorry. Okay, so this is a key actually. Okay, so this is the password which is given by the Amazon Web Services. Next is save as public key. Let me try this, save as public key. Okay, so here you need to give the file name technic. I will give technical. Fine, save it. Okay, save it. Let's see. No, not tech. Okay, it should not be public. It should be private. Okay, so hit on private. Are you sure you want to save this key without? Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so here, yes, you should save as a private. Select private one. Okay. So next is give the name for this one. Name the CSE technical. CSE technical. Fine, save it. Okay, can you see this? Hello? Hello? Let me delete this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have a look. Okay, so you can see one computer screen here. Computer type of an icon. This is now I have converted this PEM file into PPK file. Okay, you can note down this PEM.ppk. You can do some certain kind of an R&D. Okay, to have the difference between PEM and PPK. So this is my PPK file. Now this is a key what I have to share with my launched instance. Now let me go to my instance. Let's see whether that instance is ready or not. So this is the main dashboard of my EC2. So you can see here I have around 4. I have stopped all the moment after using. I used to stop, okay, the instances because I don't want to have extra cost for that one. Now see, this is just now what I have launched instance running. It is up and running, green and 2 by 2. The moment when you see this, it indicates that your machine is ready now. Okay, so machine is ready to use. So next is this is the IPv4 address, DNS address. So this is IPv4. Sorry, this is the IPv4 address. Understood? So there is no IPv6 address here. Okay, so now if I want to use this, what I can do is just select this. Hold on. Select this one. 1 second. Okay, so what you need to do is now you have to go to Putty, the other software. Okay, so right now I have used Puttigen. Puttigen is to convert your PEM file to PPK file. Now, if I want to connect that, okay, so you need to use another software called Putty. Okay, Putty, check Putty. Okay, select Putty here. So the moment when you click on that, okay, so you will get this dashboard. Can you see this, participant? This is very important. Can you see this? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here what you need to do is, see, have a look on this. So you need to select your machine here. Okay, so this machine is technical. Okay, so this is the machine now which is up and running. Next, the moment when you select this, all the details you will get here. Okay, so this is the instance ID. Okay, and it is running now. The most important here is, okay, there are two here. Uh, this is the IP address here. Understood? So this is going to be the your IP address. Okay, so hold on. Hold on. We'll talk about this one later. Okay. So here, this is the IP address that you need to share with the putty. Okay. Copy this. Next, go to your putty. Next, paste it over here. Okay. Paste it over here. But make sure that if you are using SSH, your port number should be 22 here. Now, next is after copying that IP address. Okay. So which is nothing but your the public IP address. Next, click on SSH. Under SSH, there is an option called auth, authentication. Okay, there is an option called auth. Click on auth, go to browse, Next, try to share that PPK file. Now to share PPK file, I'll go to desktop. I think it's in desktop, right? Okay, I'll go to desktop. Here the key is this one, technical session. This is the key, PPK file. CS Tech, okay, technical. Open it. Okay, now next is after sharing that file, PPK file, click on open. Can you see this? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next hit on yes. So that means now what you need to do is we need to configure this. Okay, so this is your machine now. Okay, so this is your Ubuntu machine. Now we need to configure. To configure this, just run Ubuntu. Okay, since it is an Ubuntu machine, you have to run Ubuntu. Enter it. Now it start configuring. Can you see this? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay, so that means the
sir.
machine is ready now. This is your private IP address. This is your private IP address of your machine, and this is the so public IP address of your machine. You need to share the public IP address. Okay, so that the moment when you share with the PPK, you will get the private IP address of your machine. The advantage of this machine is I can use this machine, okay, from anywhere from the world. Understood? So there is no restriction. I need to carry my laptop, right? Okay, if it is a personal machine, I need to carry my laptop. If it is a virtual machine from any system, okay, any old system also, I can access this machine. But remember, whatever activities you are doing here, let's say ls you are doing, nothing is there. Let's say I want to update sudo apt get update. Okay, sudo apt get update. Let me update this machine. So whatever you are updating, okay, so all those updation is taking place where in my Mumbai data center. You feel like you are updating here, but nothing like that. It is happening in the main data center here. Let me update this. After that, we'll wind up the session. Hold on. 94, 95, 9600. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, it's done. Can you see this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now it got updated. Hope you are clear with this. Okay. So more, if you want to learn more about this, we'll have in next technical session. Do one thing. Maybe next technical session will be on the next week. Okay, so till then what you can do is some of the simple projects I have designed and demonstrated in my YouTube channel, you can refer that. Let me come out of this. Now next is what you need to do is after successful completion of this. Okay, so let us imagine that you have completed your task. Just select that machine, go to actions. There is an option called stop. Okay, instance settings. Here, not instance setting. Not instance setting. There is an option called instance state. Sorry, not action. This is instance states. In instance stage, there are two options. I can terminate my machine, I can reboot my machine, I can stop my machine. So right now I'll stop my machine. Okay. So it got stopped now. It takes little time, but remember, the moment when you say you can come out of this this one AWS console, all the execution will be taking place over there in the Mumbai data centers. Hope you are clear with this. For more
Yes, sir.
information, hello, one second. Okay, I'll wind up here itself.